guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber Foster Kyuujin Cosplay, and today we are back at you guys with Steins Gate, episode 12. Episode 12. I was about to say season 2, season 1, but
Of
never
season
mind.
0.
Of season, yeah.
Last episode, there was an attack. They were, we found out that Daru was the hacker who was supposed to open Makise's computer, which, yeah, good thing. But we had to convince Maho. Like, Maho now knows. She knows about the whole thing. And we had to convince her not to try and convince Okarin to go back and save Makise, because we've been through this. I also got scared for a second that she would go behind everyone else's back and go with Amadeus to do a time traveling machine, and I'm like, hopefully not. I think she won't, but let's see.
Sorry, guys.
Anyway, so yeah, that was that, and then they decided not to open the computer and got attacked by America. The girl with the bike helmet was still there, got hit in the hand, hurt, shot.
And once again, we got our suspicions on Yuki and the English teacher.
Both of them were, Yuki was hurt, and the professor was hiding her hand under her blankets in a plane, so we don't know what's going on, but our suspicions are surrounding these two, obviously, and we can't wait to find out who it is.
Which one of these two girls is gonna be guilty? You know?
In any case, the computer got destroyed, and Russia showed up, shot everyone, and kept destroying the computer. It finished the job, and so now we think we might have avoided World War III for now.
Yeah.
But there's always gonna be later. We won't change the future as easily. It's only episode 12, so. Let's jump in this episode and see. I think we kind of turned a new page last episode, especially with the ending and them saying like, oh, things changed and stuff, and now we move on. I'm like, it feels like an ending, but then we might just be entering the last part of the show.
We're gonna begin a new chapter.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a bang
No.
this time.
No.
Yes.
Let's jump in this episode and see what happens.
Alright. That's when they found
At least now that she remembers, we might get more answers as to what happened to her between this and later. Why was she in her pajamas though? Like she escaped? Like she was
run away.
Yeah, so
she escaped.
So they caught her when she showed up in the past. They did something with her, and then she managed to escape. It looks like she still remembered her mom, so her amnesia was recent.
Probably after they caught her again after that time.
So Kari doesn't remember singing that song. Like it's all a time paradox if you think about it.
Really funny that she heard the song from Mayuri, who heard it first from Suzu.
Well, yes, but at the same time, it depends, because with time travel, it's complicated. Which came first?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if Mayuri would have never heard that song, if Kagari had not come back to the past, that would create a time paradox. Kind of like Makise was saying about the USA learning from, the time machine from the future, Creating the first time machine by studying the one they already created in the future. That creates a time paradox which would not happen. So in my mind, like that's exactly what happened here. So, unless originally Mayuri learned it somehow, because she did say, I learned that I found this song. This song is the reason why I found you. But then in a way, the song is also the same reason why they met her. Maybe it is a time paradox, but it doesn't apply because Kagari's creation, the reason why she exists, is not normal.
Maybe.
Maybe she's always destined to travel.
Do you think that by learning that Okarin learned the song from Kagari in the first place, it confirms us that the World War III is still happening?
It is still happening. We definitely know it's still happening. The show is not over.
I know.
And Suzu was also saying that, it was going to happen anyway at one point. So, but she is important, definitely. I wonder if they had her because she's a time traveler, or if there's something more. Because we did have theories about this, about why she looks like Makise so much. They filed this as a coincidence, but in the show, I don't want to allow myself to think coincidence. Coincidence does not exist in the show.
We do not believe in them.
So, yeah.
We know that she never knew her parents.
But we assume that maybe she's a copy, a clone or something of Makise to maybe perhaps get that intelligence and that theory again. It's far-fetched as fuck. Like, honestly, if you could, steal the time-traveling machine, use Amadeus to find, the theories, which technically are supposed to be in there because it's still Makise and Makise's memory. Mm-hmm. Or let's take, a piece of Makise and clone her to have a child who will grow up and eventually have the same brain as Makise and then create the same theory. I'm like, it's far-fetched.
That's something from a mad scientist,
But it's a bit too intense. Like, sometimes we have great theories and we're like, oh god, this could definitely be it. And the more we think about it, the more we're like, yeah. But this time I'm like, it's far-fetched.
Sometimes we're really stretching it,
And this is one of those. But it's funny to theorize like this anyway, because I'm not ready to just assume that she looks like Makise for the sake of it. Although it could definitely just be a coincidence. I don't think it is. Because how, Makise look-alike that stumbles upon the gang... No. Anyway.
No.
And like she must have been born in those days, to be this young during the war. So I would assume that it has to, if she was born at the beginning of it all, it makes even more sense, that she's linked to all of this.
Well,
but
maybe, because technically she's younger than Suzu. So she was born after her. So she's gonna be born not that long in the future, but still.
Yeah, but Suzu is gonna be born at the beginning of the whole thing, even before it even starts. But she gets born, still in the war. She's not born yet, so she is linked to that. Perhaps.
Yeah.
It would make sense, but we'll find out. We'll figure it out. One person though that we had one other clue about if she's involved or not is Yuki. She is very.
Okay, so we got a confirmation that she is clumsy.
She's clumsy.
But we could still be surprised that she only pretend to be clumsy so that we don't have any suspicion on her that she is
I don't think
related to everything.
Why? Like, she doesn't know that she's being watched by viewers and stuff. She doesn't know she's in a TV show. Why would she need to prove it to anyone?
Do you remember a movie, The Prestige? Like,
yes.
One of the magicians...
Yeah, it's not The Prestige.
Yeah, I know, but one of the magicians needed to pretend that it was... any everyday life that it was that you had a disability,
You really think that she's stretching this? That
she might do the same as we do, but okay, if it's not her, that's just funny to watch her being clumsy. But if it is her, that's really, really smart on her part.
But no, the clumsiness could be to explain why she's full of wounds.
That will be the main explanation.
Because this is the thing. It's either she is part of the whole thing and the clues were in our faces, but still they made it look like they wanted us to doubt it, and still it ends up being her. Or they added this little clumsy thing happening to her because they want us to be like, oh, okay, she's clumsy. So that's explanation to why she always gets these wounds, because she did say that it was stupid, the way she got hurt on her hand and her shoulder. So if she is actually clumsy, it could explain why she gets so many wounds. But that could be, proof.
Hear me out, though. If it is her, and she's being clumsy because she just wants to make sure that people doesn't think that she might be a super agent, why do you think that she accepted to go on a date with Daru after the computer was destroyed?
It's true.
It's because true. He was the one who could have opened it, and he's related to with Okarin and everything that's going on.
Like, yes, I agree that the timing is weird, and I also have my suspicions when it comes to her. At the same time, it could also be explained as just them both finally going forward.
I'm gonna be.
They've been flirting.
I know. Well, him. Because that she's gonna be his wife in the future,
Yeah, but they've been flirting anyway. So, like, it could just be that. But like I said, we both have our suspicions when it comes to her because she's way too involved at this point. Too much stuff has happened that's directly linked to what we've seen from that girl with the bike helmet. And then there's the professor, which we haven't seen in this episode, but she's also linked to all of this. That's the thing. If Yuki is involved and is the girl with the bike helmet, the professor is also involved. Mm-hmm. And if the professor is the girl with the bike helmet, then Yuki can be innocent. But the professor is involved one way or another. It's way too clear.
Sure, the professor is involved in it. Maybe she's from the second group from America, because there were two groups, right?
One in Russia and one in America. Okarin doesn't know which group it is, though. No, he doesn't know which company it is.
Okarin said that there was two possible companies from America, so maybe she's one of the two,
Yes. The ones that attacked with the bike helmets are the company. They are America.
I know.
Okarin just doesn't know yet which of the two companies it is, but it's if it's one of these two. Yeah. But there is one company in America that does all this shit, and one in Russia who tries to keep their secrets.
I know.
So if the professor is involved, she is in that group in America.
I know.
Okay.
But yeah, I seriously do believe in both theories. I encourage both of them too.
I won't be surprised. I think whether we're right or wrong, both fits. Both could definitely happen. If it's not any of those theories and it's someone completely different, I'd be like, you cheated me, Steins Gate. In any case, so that's that. I can't imagine what it'd be like to wander around not knowing about your past, but still feeling a connection. One's mom is very important, especially if you've been alone for so long and you had a great relationship with your mom. Mm-hmm. I guess that, when you have amnesia, the feelings can stay. The feeling stays, but not the memories.
Have you ever saw some video about old people who listen to music and they who have amnesia? They listen to songs from their younger time and they remember some part of their past. They remember family members. They remember when they were younger.
Memory goes with all your senses, whether it's touch, smell, your eyes, your ears. It could be anything. If she doesn't remember her past, then you need to challenge her senses. Try to see if there's a smell that she recognizes. When she hugs Mayuri, does she recognize the feeling of holding her and stuff? Now it's the song. The song actually mattered. So, and it's interesting how, because that's the thing. We know much more than most of these characters because we see everything.
Yeah.
From everyone's point of view. We see the future. We see the past. We see the present. Okarin is the next one after us because he knows a lot about everything because he time travels. He comes from, he's been through both timelines and he's in, he knows the secret. Mm-hmm. I forgot for a while that they didn't tell both girls that Mayuri was the mom. I remember that they did not want to tell Mayuri, but I thought Kagari might have remembered somehow or they told her. I don't know. But then, they didn't tell them, which, again, that's what happens when you don't tell them. It makes for awkward situations where they ask questions and we already know the answer to that. We're like, well, obviously you learned it from your mom.
Yeah.
But then they need to pretend because if they tell them everything, like Okarin, told, well, not Okarin, but like Rukako said a few episodes ago, that puts them in danger in Okarin's mind. Mm-hmm. So we talked about this before. I understand. I am on the side of tell the truth because they deserve it.
You know what? He technically told the truth to Maho.
Because he messed up.
Yeah, he messed up. But now that Mayuri knows that Kagari thinks that she's her mom, I think that
she knows she's her mom.
Yeah.
She knows that time travel is a thing, so yeah. She didn't know that, I don't think she knew that Kagari came from the future. And to know now that she's, her daughter, that's putting a lot in perspective. Although, in their case, it makes much more sense than just protecting them from hurt and harm and stuff to not tell them anything. Because look at how Daru and Suzuha and Yuki are interacting. It did help Daru with Suzu a lot because he felt a connection with her and then he got close to her. But it also puts them in awkward situations where, he knows that he's supposed to date Yuki, but then he doesn't feel that love yet, and he's, he's shy because he knows that this person is important, and there's also the added pressure of knowing if I mess up, she's not gonna be there.
Yep.
So
indeed, so much pressure that he didn't need.
Yes. Sometimes in a movie or a TV show, another TV show, they would, explore this side of, oh shit, I know I'm supposed to have a daughter. Now I'm gonna freak out over when does she get conceived, and if I'm gonna meet my deadline, and there's the added pressure. In the show, in Steins Gate, they don't explore that as much, but we focus on it.
Yeah, we do. It reminds me of the TV show Charmed.
Yeah. Well, they didn't do that in Charmed.
Yeah, but they kind of talk about it a bit. More of the laughing side and more of the drama side,
The added pressure and stuff, yes, it's true. It's there. But people in fan fictions actually explored that more than the actual TV show.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is something that we think about. And I mean, Daru is obviously not confident with his skill when it comes to Yuki. So maybe it's that, maybe it's the pressure. Mayuri, though, is such a sweet girl. I think that learning that, yes, she is this girl's mother is just going to confirm, why she feels so connected with her, why she feels such emotions, strong emotions towards her.
Why she felt that every time that she's seeing her, she only think about, I need to help her in any way possible.
Yeah, and for Kagari, it's going to be everything. Because, like I said, going around, not knowing anything about your past, it's got to be bad. And now at least she's got someone that she reunites with, someone that she knows. Even though it's not the exact same person, she's going to connect somehow.
I have a question, though. We saw in the past that people found Kagari when she was singing the song and Okarin heard it. Do you think that they also took Okarin and wiped his memory because he didn't remember singing the song ever?
Maybe they wiped his memory of her, but then how? Because he went back home and sang it. Maybe the only reason he doesn't remember the song is because he grew up, first of all, and there's not just that, but he keeps changing timelines. And we know that, sometimes when the Okarin is, that we know is in another timeline, and like timeline A and B, the guy in A could have heard the song, and then one day the guy from B could have showed up in A, and he remembers stuff from B, but then he doesn't remember what he's learned so far in A. When he showed up and found Makise again in this season, he did not remember what the other Okarin did after Mayuri died. Mm-hmm. So there's two Okarin, the one that time travels, and the one that was there before he showed up. Mm-hmm. So if he actually forgot, and it's not because, you grew up, and sometimes, do you remember what you used to do when you were, 7?
Some of the stuff that I did.
Yeah, but not everything. So, it could just be that. Or if it's not that, and he actually forgot, either someone did something to him, or it's one of those things where he lived through a reading Steiner or a change of the timeline, and then the Okarin that showed up never heard that song. So he stopped singing it. Because the Okarin, it's confusing.
Yes, it is.
The Okarin that we know right now is the one that time travels. So it would mean that he's from the other timeline to begin with. That's confusing even more.
That couldn't be possible.
Why? People mess up with the timeline all the time in this show.
No, I know, but
and when he was a kid, we know he felt that he felt it at least once. He got sick. I don't remember when.
But do you think it's when Kagari went in the past? Maybe. That would be maybe when he felt it the first time.
Maybe.
But the thing is, went in the past.
But the thing is, he did not remember singing the song, but we know he came back home and sang it for a while, so they did not take him and do something to him here.
Maybe afterwards.
Maybe after, I don't know. Although, they would have erased his memory.
Those people are pretty meticulous. If they knew that she talked to someone and she's not supposed to be seen or heard.
Well, definitely. In that case, yes, that's the thing. It's either the reading, if it's not important and we don't talk about it anymore, it could definitely be either, you grew up and you forgot, or the reading Steiner did something and then you got messed up and you forgot, or you never learned it to begin with. Or if it is
I'm a completist, he got kidnapped and his memory wiped out.
No, but if it is, if it is important, you know, if it is important and it comes back, then in that case, it could definitely be that they took him later on and
Could
did
you
something.
imagine though if she remembers what happened to her and said, "Oh, a company kidnapped me and wiped out my memories," and now I remembers what happened to him when he was younger.
That's exactly what I said before. I said now that she remembers, we might know more, and that's what Okarin was saying too. You know, now that she remembers everything, at least I hope she remembers everything, she might be able to tell us more about the company and what happened to her. See, you don't listen to me when I talk.
Sometimes.
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 Anyway.
I'm in another timeline. Okay.
We're gonna move on and watch the next episode. So thank you guys so much for watching this with us. If you want to see the next episode right away, it is on Patreon already, or it will be very soon. So if you want to check it out, the link is in the description.
And if it's not, you can switch timeline and go on YouTube next week to see the next one, guys.
Don't listen to her. Bye.
Bye, guys.